Hello everyone and welcome to another Pokemon Pocket video. Today we've got a bit of a double whammy because while this is a new deck to show, as I often do lately with some gameplay of course, it's also going to be the deck I finally decided to bring to the $10,000 tournament run by Ursidae. It's actually, as of recording, happening tomorrow. I've been trying to work out what deck I want to play, and since this is a pretty big tournament, I'd like to do well. I would also like to do my own thing as well, and that was one of my issues. In the current meta, there's a lot of different decks you can play, and nothing really stands out as, above all. There is an extent where Darkrai Giratina is so consistent and, comfortable in terms of we've played the deck for a long time now, and we all know it's good. But because everyone's aware of it, everyone's ready for a lot of Darkrai Giratina, I never really like bringing what's deemed like the best deck and potentially just playing a lot of mirrors. So I tried a fair few other decks leading up to my decision today, and on stream today I went 15-3 in Master Ball, of course, with this deck, and it felt very, very good. And I love Mimikyu. It's one of my top 2 favorite Pokemon. So yeah, it works. So first off, of course, we do have Mimikyu. I've made a previous video about a Mimikyu deck. This one's a little bit different, and I think this one is just better than the one I made previously. But 70 HP, deal 60 damage for 2, and you also deal 20 damage to one of your own Pokemon. It can be Mimikyu, it can be anything else on the bench. Now, we run 2 of these, and this, of course, combines with 2 Acerola that we run, which you can choose a Palossand, which we do not have in the deck, or a Mimikyu that has damage on it, and you can basically transfer up to 40 of that damage to your opponent's active. So if you had 40 damage or more on the Mimikyu, you would effectively heal 40 off the Mimikyu and deal 40 to the whatever the active is. And this is obviously a supporter card. So this means you can do upwards of 100 damage with a Mimikyu attack and an Acerola, and even you can do 80 if you really want. If it's only got 20 on, obviously you can do 90 with 30 and so on and so on. So it's really, really nice. The Pokemon also that the Mimikyu doesn't have to be in the active spot. So if you have 2 Mimikyu, you can actually deal the damage to the bench one and then still do it off there. Really, really nice combo. Again, I like the Pokemon, and it's in a pretty good spot aggressive-wise because this can deal well with Oricorio, the electric ones. Very early on, you can be very aggressive with this. Take out stuff like Charmanders. Obviously if you get the right attack in. What else? Even Froakies. Just a lot of the early stuff that's popular. And also, because of its health, you can take Darkrai hits and pings from Greninjas and such, and even like Rocky Helm damage, and then that actually activates your Acerola for even more damage. So I think it's pretty well placed right now. Now, what else do we put with the Mimikyu? First off, we have the Psychic Oricorio, which is going to be the Spiteful Dance one, which is deal 80 damage if your opponent knocked out a Pokemon with an attack in the previous turn. Now, again, this is, you never really want to start this one, but it's just good as a basic. Again, all these Pokemon in this deck are basic. Most of them are non-EX, and it's just really, really powerful. 1 energy, you don't have to set the energy up or anything, you can just attach it when you're going to attack, and you can just deal 80 damage, which again is pretty strong and a bit awkward to deal with, and helps out with the rest of the deck. So high damage output, low energy requirement for this Oricorio. And then finally, we have, we have 2 Tapu Lele. Again, really solid in the meta right now. Anything that's ramping a lot of energy, you look at Charizards, Giratinas, Darkrai's, what else? Just almost everything is ramping energy at the moment. And Tapu Lele deals a ton of damage and has a good amount of health. This can take Mimikyu damage if you don't want it on one of your Mimikyus for whatever reason. And its Steel weakness. Steel isn't super popular right now, although I've noticed in some more Solgaleos recently. And again, low energy, cheap retreat. So what I've noticed as well, this deck does quite well against opponent Tapu Leles too. And again, it does pretty good versus Oricorios, Greninjas, and so on. So we run 2 of those to help with bench snipes and dealing damage, and suddenly Tapu Lele attack, then if they knock out the Tapu Lele after 1 or 2 attacks, the Oricorio can come in and deal 80. Like, this damage stacks up really, really fast. So it's 2 Tapu Leles, And then finally, we have the Giratina. This is probably the most contentious card in the deck. I really like it because we don't have like a single big hitter. And again, because we run Psychic Energy only, you can even manually attach to Giratina as well as Bellow at certain points in the game, especially turn 1. And it's just pretty good, right? It's just there. It can deal 130 if needed, and with the help of Dawn, that we'll talk about in a minute, it can really help out some of the other Pokemon. And because we don't actually attach that much energy to our other Pokemon because they don't need it, Giratina can just soak your additional turns later on. So pretty nice, just the one-off though. And then we have the X speed because sometimes we have to start Tapu Lele, a Giratina, an Oricorio when we don't want to, and we want to say X speed in a Mimikyu to be able to get it to attack and get that going faster. We might start a Mimikyu and want to X speed in Tapu Lele because our opponent's building up a Giratina on the back. So X speed just helps out a little bit without going all in on Leaf because the deck's support are heavy anyway. 2 Pokeballs, the usual. A red card. We don't run Mars again because we want to be able to be flexible with these supporters. So red card, pretty nice in the meta right now, as I'm sure you're all aware. The Rocky Helmets, though, a bit of a surprise powerhouse in the deck, because suddenly, again, because we're running basics with, like, not amazing health, but especially in the early game, pretty good health, the damage is nice from these. Then when you add Rocky Helmet, these Pokemon become a menace, right? Like Tapu Lele on turn 1 or turn 2 with a Rocky Helmet is very awkward for a lot of decks to deal with. You've got game versus the aggro decks, you've got game versus the slow decks, because at some point they have to hit into it, so then they're taking another 20 from the helmet, then you can bring out an Oricorio, deal another 80. It all starts to add up quite a lot. So 2 Rocky Helmets have done amazing work, 2 Professor's Research because of course, 1 Cyrus because we do have that Tapu Lele for that bench snipe, or just retreating stuff of course. The 1 Dawn in here might not look like it has a ton of value, but I'm a bit of a Dawn fan, honestly. I think it's a super underrated supporter, and if we go first and we have Giratina and Mimikyu, it's so strong because no one's really playing around Dawn. So the fact that you can gain edge on Giratina, Dawn across that energy to Mimikyu and hit 60 out of nowhere is huge because no one expects it, and it can win you games by itself, which is very, very powerful. We have the 2 Acerolas as discussed. 1 Sabrina again for those early snipes, whether it's with Tapu Lele, whether it's not that it would really matter, but Oricorio stuff, Mimikyu stuff, it can just help out with 1 Sabrina, 1 Cyrus, like the classic supporter package. And then finally, we have 1 Guzma. Again, this could be changed. This could be like a red. This could be, whatever. But for me, this felt really good at knocking out capes. Because I feel like items, or tools, should I say, really popular again now. They went a bit quiet when Guzma came out, but then Guzma's been cut a lot. So this is really nice because it's effectively doing 20 or 30 versus grass to capes, which is huge, dealing extra damage that we need. And then also, it keeps some of our stuff alive if we want to get rid of Rocky Helmet or the poison barbs as well. So yeah, that rounds out the list. As I said on stream today, I went 15-3. Obviously, that's just a good run, right? I'm not saying everyone's going to do that kind of score, but yeah, it felt pretty good, and I've climbed, I think, the highest I've kind of climbed at least this season for sure, as we just take a quick look here. Yeah, we're at nearly 1,600 points so far. So, yeah, that is the deck. We are going to play some games, so make sure to stick around if you want to see how it plays, because it is a bit of a weird deck. But yeah, that's the deck. Hopefully, if you try it out, let me know. Give me a shout in the comments, and let's play some games. Okay, here we go. This is the first game, and again, just for pure transparency, this is ranked. You can see it with the thing. I'll show you the points afterwards. It was the points I just showed on the video as well. So let's see how it goes. We're against Electric, so we are looking at an Oricorio. We are going second, so we probably can start the Mimikyu, because if we go second with Tapu Lele, it's not bad, especially if they have something that's going to ramp in the back, but generally speaking, I think going second, you want to go Mimikyu if you can, because we attach energy first, and if Tapu Lele gets an energy and they don't have an energy, it can't attack anyway. So let's start. We do have Rocky Helm. Oh, Magnemite, so we've got Magnezone. This could be a little bit scary if they ramp. We do want to put out some damage, but the good thing again is if they ramp, we can just retreat Mimikyu, go Tapu Lele, and just blast them. Especially with some, hopefully, quick damage from Mimikyu. The good thing here as well in this matchup is Magneton is one of the few Stage 2 Pokemon that hasn't really been buffed, right, by Rare Candy, because you don't really want to Rare Candy it. So we're going to attach the helmet here. A bit annoying, this would be a very nice red card opportunity, because I feel like with the size of this hand, they've almost certainly got a Magneton. But of course, we are going to draw. We aren't going first, so the Giratina isn't super required. But this is nice already. Like, just look at the layout here. We get to attack for 60. If they attack us, they're taking more damage. We can retreat into Tapu Lele to deal extra damage. And then if they do accelerate something or knock us out, we have Oricorio diving in for another 80. So I feel like this is going to stack up very, very fast. And because of the sort of... because this deck's not very popular, right? We pretty much built it today. The people don't really know how to play around it and what the potential reach is like. Have another Magnemite. They must have Magneton, right? Okay, they're going to comms probably for Magneton. Again, I'm not really, at least for the Magnetons, afraid of Rare Candy. Okay, there's the Magneton. There's Oricorio Electric, so again, not too much of a problem for us. And now we have Giratina. I don't even know if I want to play Giratina because it's a bit too late now. In some matchups, you will still want Giratina on the bench. But because we're attaching the energy here, I think we just do this. If they attach... see, here's a little thing to think about, though. Oh, no, we should be fine. If they attach and boost and do spinning attack, that does knock us out, but it also knocks them out unless they cape. So maybe we're okay doing this attack. I'm working out where we want to put the damage. We don't have Acerola, though. So maybe we force the damage out onto the Tapu Lele. Do we force the evolve? And then we just knock it out? This is tricky. If I had an Acerola, this would be a little bit different. You know what? I'll take the damage on the Mimikyu. If this 1-for-1's a Magneton, we're probably okay. It would have been nice to Sabrina this turn, honestly. So we could Sabrina like a Magnemite in, and then bring in Tapu Lele and do some damage to the Magneton. The drawing basics. Okay. Probably another Oricorio looking at this. Ooh, do they get to survive? And cape. But don't they... if... so they're going Magneton? Okay, yeah. Magnezone, sorry, Magnezone. Okay, this is a little bit scary. Yeah, this isn't really what we were after. However, our Oricorio can get work done here. Because we can bring in Oricorio, and this is what I was talking about, where the extra sort of damage that Guzma provides is pretty nice, because some of, you know, we don't hit hard, we just hit hard early. So we can get rid of that. Oricorio deals 80. So now we are sort of getting that swap where we get to deal 80 damage to this Magnezone. It's a tricky matchup, though. I'll be honest, I've not faced this matchup today. I streamed earlier, obviously. But I've not faced this matchup today, so I don't really have a good grasp on how it goes. The early Magnezone is a little bit annoying, though. But no red card. If we had red card earlier, it could have been pretty nice. So I have to be a little bit wary of Cyrus here. What do we want? It's a little bit tricky. I think we are retreating just to make them have Cyrus. We're bringing Tapu Lele. Let me think. Trying to work out if the damage overly matters. It's a tough one, honestly. Let's draw. I was going to Sabrina, but let's draw instead. There's a Acerola, a little bit concerning. I think we will go Giratina because we might have to tank. Let's see. Let's energy arrow for 40. I think I just hope they don't have zone. If they have a second zone, then yeah, it's going to be one of those. If our opponent runs Magnezone or Oricorios and just smoothly gets to both Magnezone, it's going to be a little bit rough. Well, this means no Cyrus. Well, this is really nice, because this Oricorio now is still, like, active, right? Oh, Mimikyu would have been pretty nice. We probably never get into this Giratina, but we're okay for energy anyway. If we knock this out, this might set up a bit of checkmate, right? So if we knock this out, and they knock our Tapu Lele out, then our Oricorio should clean up. They're just hoping on Magnezone, right? Because Magnezone does prove a huge problem. A little bit scared of Cyrus, a little bit scared of Cape. Yeah, like I said, not played this matchup before, so a little bit tricky. We couldn't get a good Acerola off. And sometimes you will find with this deck that your Acerolas don't end up doing anything. Oh, okay. Wait, don't I just... I feel like I just win now. Oh, how many cards? If we had Dawn, we can attack. But we have Sabrina, we'll be fine. So yeah, we'll Bellow this turn. And we do have Sabrina. They've already used a Mars. Did they use red card? No, it's just Mars, right? Yeah. So now they have to Magnezone. Okay, so they knock out my Oricorio. They probably need to want to ramp. They didn't ramp, so they don't have Magnezone. Oh no, they're probably scared the Tapu Lele, right? So they go to 2 points, and now this Giratina, like I said, sometimes you need a big hitter. Yeah, this should be fine now. So the Giratina gets to, we get to just Sabrina this, right? And we should be fine. And there's the concede. Yeah, not too bad at all. That was a tricky game, I'll admit. That was a tricky one. That kind of technically makes us 16-3 now. And we did get the work done, so that was a good one. I think that puts us to 1600 rating as well, which is pretty nice. But yeah, tricky matchup. But as long as you just work out what's going on, play a few turns ahead, it works out. Okay, here we go. Game number 2. Again, you guys probably know the drill by now. These are going to be 3 games in a row. Whatever happens, happens. And we'll see how it goes. This one could be tricky. Garchomp Rampados, which I'm assuming it is. It might not be. We'll see. Yeah. Maybe a little bit tough because of... Rampados just hits so hard if they get it going, and Garchomp has so much health, and they probably run Lilies as well. So this can definitely be a little bit tricky for us. I haven't played this match. I've not run into this much today either, so let's try and have a little look, see how this one's going to work out. We definitely want the Rocky Helm down. I definitely want to red card. No other basics, no Mimikyu, which is a little bit of a shame. But we'll do our best. Because of that, we are going to go Giratina. We're going to go Energy here. We're going to go... yeah, we're going to Bellow here as well. Again, when there's a world where we just leave Tapu Lele as a tank and it just sits there if there's nothing good to snipe. Because dealing 20 damage to this Gible isn't relevant if it means we can't sort of accelerate the Giratina. Pokeball double research is rough. We just red carded them, and now they've got everything back, which is very scary. Okay. So that's Rampados, sure. I don't, honestly, I'm not 100% sure what's better for me. They're not even attaching. Interesting. So let's put the other Tapu Lele down now. Let's go... I think we go Rocky Helmet on here. And we just ramp again. It's unfortunate if we had a Mimikyu, because the problem we've got here is it's who blinks first, right? If they put their Rampados in first and they don't have a second one, we can Giratina it, and that can help out a lot. But we need damage on the Rampados, so they need to bring their Rampados in first, knock something out, then we knock theirs out, and then we go. Oh, interesting. We're actually going to do this. Okay. So because they've attached energy, we can start, like, doing stuff, I guess, and representing some kind of threat. Because we cannot put our Giratina in first. So this is weird. If we had Mimikyu, we can start threatening the Gibbles so they can't just sit there and kind of wait. But they're going to get... Although they've used one rare candy. They're going to... Okay. If they attack, though. Okay. Weird game. I think I want a Sabrina. This is a weird thing with this deck as well, and with Tapu Lele in general. You want a Sabrina Pokemon with energy sometimes, because you can't retreat twice in a turn. So if we Sabrina this Gibble away, they can't retreat that Gibble to then give us a no energy target. So then we just snipe this again. And now they either evolve, heal, cape, whatever, or that's 1 point to us, which is pretty good, because it's just reducing down the sort of room they've got to maneuver here. Okay. So they are going to try and keep this up. So again, this is... I'm glad we get to show these games, because this is a weird matchup, I'm going to be honest. Yep, they're going to put this one in. Sure. We have Guzma, though. Okay, we get a Mimikyu. Perfect. We have something, like, way more threatening. And then we can Guzma. And they're going to have to be careful now, because... if they evolve into Garchomp EX, their Garchomp only has a 1 retreat, so they would have to stay on 1 energy, then retreat to nothing to get that to work. Whereas if they energy up to try and deal 100 damage, okay, here we go. Sorry guys, I'm kind of involved because oh right, okay, sure. But now what? Because now we can retreat. Go in with Mimikyu. And now we have Cyrus. And we don't have Acerola. And because we have 2 Tapu Leles, I think I'll damage this Tapu Lele. Because if they Cyrus one in, and they Cyrus the one in that has the Rocky Helmet, I'm kind of fine with it, because they take 20 damage, and then we can just retreat the Tapu Lele. Our energy is all set up. So it's not like this not having energy is a big deal. Sometimes when you look at what to be Cyrusable, you need to look at, well, do I have energy to retreat and bring something else in? Okay, they are going to heal, which is annoying. But if they attack, it's just... I feel like it's just game. Okay. Let's draw. Oricorio can be quite nice as well. That's going to be our Mimikyu. I'll put 1 energy on the Tapu Lele, because maybe I should have put it on the Giratina, but... yeah, then we just attack again. This time, though, I'm going to put it on the Mimikyu, because we're getting lower in the deck. Right? Yeah, bottom 4, 2 of them are Acerola, right? Okay. Where are they putting energy? Mars? Sure. It's a shame. I would have loved the Oricorio. Would have been very nice. If we go in now and Giratina... just put an energy here, you know, just in case, right? And, you know, we retreat and want to go back again. But there goes the Rampados. They still need to start attaching energy. This is a bit of a tricky game. I think, like, this has been a fun one. Sort of baiting out what energy to use and when. I'm guessing they have Garchomp by now, right? Sure. They have no energy now. Can't we just attack twice? I'll bring Oricorio there just so we've got it available. Okay, there is a world where they have Red or Giovanni, right? But if I deal 20 this turn, they're going to attack. We have 2 turns to knock this out. Yeah, we have to lock in. This has been a weird game. Our opponent's played pretty well here. And we got a little bit unfortunate not having the... Well, saying that, if they knock this out, we'll win unless they have a Fossil. Unless they have Cape. But they... Oh. Well, no Giovanni or anything for you. Huge. I don't think they've got anything after that. Yeah, wow, really tricky game. But we got there, and we didn't even have the early Mimikyu to put the pressure on, and we still managed it. And again, this is one of the reasons why we play the Giratina, because it just gives us not only the crazy starts with Mimikyu, but also the outs in those kind of weird games where you need a big hitter, you need something with big health. And that's now we're on 17-3 with this deck so far. Looking good. Okay, game 3. This is the one where we probably cursed and we're going to lose, because I guess we need to lose in the video. We're against Fighting again. It's a little bit unfortunate that we've not faced any like Giratina Darkrai or anything like that to show you how that matchup goes. But hey, check out my stream. There's like 5-6 hours worth of my today's VOD to show you that if you really want it. We are going first, so I would love to get Giratina, because we even have X speed. Giratina Mimikyu. Okay, Giratina? Ugh, okay, these draws, for want of a better phrase, suck. I'm going to play the second Tapu Lele there. I'm not actually, I'm going to wait. Purely because of Sabrina. We'll just wait. If we had Giratina, though, oof, that's what you want. Go first, Giratina, Mimikyu, win. If you have Dawn, of course, as well. Again, this is going to be a tough matchup. We might just get steamrolled. Maybe we got lucky in the last game. Okay, well, guess what? We want to draw more Pokemon, so let's go. There's Giratina. I think I need the other Tapu down now, because if they do Sabrina and just have the Giratina stood there, we might be in a bit of a rough spot. We didn't Sabrina here, but we can Sabrina, obviously because we researched, but we could maybe Sabrina to get rid of one of these. Because I do think if we get rid of one of the Rampados early, or the Rampados options early on, it can be quite strong. Wow. Yeah, let's roll the dice, I think. Let's make them have it. And now we have Giratina ready to go. This is, again, very weird matchup because Rampados obviously hits so well into Giratina because we don't run heals. Okay. They're going to throw this Fossil away? Or are they going to just let me have it? Awkward again. Yeah, this is super awkward because we have no Mimikyu. Oh, there we go. Okay, we get to do fun things now. So we can go Mimikyu. We can go X speed. Bring this Tapu Lele back. Put the Mimikyu in. And then we can go Dawn. Put the 1 energy across. And just like the previous game, even though Acerilla's nice, I don't want this Cranidos to just beat the Mimikyu. So we're going to knock out this Fossil. And we're going to put the damage again on the Tapu Lele with the helmet, because if they Cyrus it in, they're going to pay for it, right? One way or the other. So we've kind of got away with this, and Dawn strikes. No one's expecting it. They thought they were safe, or at least they thought they were setting up a Giratina kill. And now if they bring in a Rampados and knock out this Mimikyu, the Giratina takes the Rampados, and the game is kind of done and dusted. Oh, this is scary. Where are they going to put the Garchomp damage, though? They didn't put it into the Mimikyu, okay, makes sense. Okay, definitely a little bit tricky here. They can Cyrus this, which is kind of rough. Okay, what if I retreat? And just say fine. I was thinking about playing red card, but we'll see. Because like Lily gives us a real problem here, right? Oh, there it is. Oh, I wanted to stay. Okay. So they retreat and bring in Rampados. Yeah. Yeah, rough. This is a rough one. This is how I imagine the matchup can go if they have, like, this fast enough. And again, we didn't start. If we'd started Mimikyu, like, instantly, this game changes. And I don't think we have a good way to deal with this, because we didn't get damage on the Mimikyu, unfortunately. So we can like Cyrus this in, but it doesn't matter, right? They just swap the Rampados back, and it's just going to be game. A little bit unfortunate we couldn't get damage on for the Acerola. But yeah, they played well, so we're going to concede there. So that gives our final total for today, 17-4 for this Mimikyu deck. Fantastic, because like I said, this isn't in casual games. This isn't, you know, low ranks. This is, I would say, decent at least, right? 1600 Master Ball this got us to. So yeah, not too bad at all. But yeah, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you try out the deck. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you build it differently. If you would, please like and subscribe. It does help me out a lot. I am trying to grow the channel. But yeah, I appreciate your time. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you next time.